Hey guys, it's your girl Eve. Happy Sunday. Sorry I'm 5 minutes late. You know that's how I be sometimes. Appreciate you being here. Let's see who we got. We got Dory, Shani, My Shed Lines, Carla, Electronic Medium. Hey girl, been a while. Dope Soul, My Soul Sister, Blue and Gold. And anyone else coming in? Cynthia, Alicia, Rainy Days, Hybrid. Thank you for being here. And again, anyone who is coming in, please hit that like button. And if you're leaving, go ahead and hit that like button anyway. Help a sister out. All right, guys, let's get into it today. So, I was sitting there thinking about all of the videos that I've made to just put out about timeline discrepancies, pizza debacles, inconsistencies with statements from the parents versus people around them. The list goes on and on. And I was like, you know what? I could do that. And I have done that tremendously. Like I've already done that. I have a playlist full of it. And those things will come out. But I just really want to kind of have an open discussion as we're talking about things, because I think that would keep not only my eyes and mind fresh, but you guys seeing the actual process of how hard it is to keep up with anything with such little information. Now, I will say, the press release was amazing, and it gave a lot of clarity to what was going on up until the press release. So what their thought processes were, what their protocols were, and some clarifications of some things. I do have a video that I just uploaded that nobody has seen yet that I'm going to let you guys watch. But please, when I make it public, which I'm about to do, go ahead and hit that like button after you leave here. I'll share it on my community post. But I thought that this was a very interesting thought process after hearing about the Honda Pilot. All right. Hellcat, hey, his Sally, my Jack. Cynthia, Cases, I love you. Thank you. I love you too. Love you all. I even love my haters, because you keep me going. It's the missing that keeps me up at night, not the haters. The haters keep me going. Hey, Mr. Eve, he's in the back putting toddler Eve to sleep right now. Hence me being late. I was trying to be quiet. I probably was more loud than than I was quiet. All right, so I'm going to play this video that I did about the Honda Pilot, because a lot of people are like, to this right now, arguing about this damn Honda Pilot, which is one of the vehicles that have not been completely 100%, what's the word? Investigated fully and closed, right? So J.D. Huff stated in his press release that they have a really good idea, a pretty good idea of who it is, who it belongs to, but the driver issue is the problem. Now, I've thought about that long and hard, not knowing, knowing what I know and the recordings that we have, right, about this damn Honda Pilot. I washed that away and I was like, let's look at it from the most simple, basic form. Why would they say that they have a really good idea of who owns and drives it, but they just can't completely clear it? And I thought, well, duh. What if the person just can't remember what they drove that day if they have multiple vehicles? Do they live with multiple people? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's just so, simple. They don't seem too extremely worried about it. Does that make sense, guys? Hey, Lizzie, Barb, Ashley, Armchair Investigator. Thank you for your lovely comment last night. I appreciate it. Brooklyn says, Eve is on it. I'm on something. It ain't drugs. It's pure rage most times, and caffeine and passion for the missing. Okay. Hey, Julia. Lizzie B. All right. So let me get this video pulled up. It's almost it's going through that process check where it makes sure that there's no copyright claims, which I love that, because sometimes you think that a music video or music rather is copyright free, and it ain't. It changes just like that. Okay. All right. It's finished. Woohoo. Let's play this bad boy. So again, this is about the Honda Pilot. Then we're going to get into media and law enforcement, because I got a bone to pick with local Idaho law enforcement. I'm pretty pissed off. All right, let's get into it.
Earlier in the investigation, we needed assistance in identifying 2 vehicles and 2 pedestrians that were seen in the area around the time of Michael's disappearance. So you guys need to know that we positively identified the blue Dodge Avenger we were looking for, and the man that we saw jogging in that area. Those have both been identified, vetted, and investigated, and to an end. So the white Honda Pilot, 2016 to 18 Honda Pilot that we have leaving the area at approximately that time, again, we believe that it belongs to a resident, but we haven't quite been able to clear that and verify that. So that's kind of still an outstanding for us. The man seen walking through the area of the splash pad of Crestview Park leading up to the time of Michael's disappearance, he's not come forward and he has not been identified. So the man's described as a white male adult, late 20s, early 30s. He was seen wearing black shorts, a white t-shirt with cut-off sleeves, dark-colored shoes, and a hat. So I need to make it perfectly clear that he is not a suspect, but we need to talk to him so we can determine his whereabouts and see if he witnessed anything that would be helpful in this investigation.
Okay, see, this is why you upload it private first and then make sure that it works right. So what I was playing at the end there is a little tidbit from Miss Brandy. And here, let me play it really quickly before I forget. One moment. Y'all got like the fresh version, like the unedited, didn't even double check to make sure it was okay to upload kind. So that's okay. But here's what she said about the Honda Pilot. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me delete this. Boom. Okay. Why is it still doing it? Hold on. We're going to get there. Okay.
And I was telling him, I was like, oh yeah, here you are. You said you needed to identify the driver of the white Honda Pilot. Not, you apparently may have, identified the Honda Pilot, but not the driver. And I was like, we're just going to tell everybody it was a fuckable fish, okay? He's like, all right.
Let's play that again.
And I was telling him, I was like, oh yeah, here you are. You said you needed to identify the driver of the white Honda Pilot. Not, you apparently may have, identified the Honda Pilot, but.
So she's saying you don't know the driver, but you've identified the Honda Pilot.
Not the driver. And I was like, we're just going to tell everybody it was a fuckable fish, okay? He's like, all right.
And what I was trying to get at that, guys, is it was very lackadaisical, to say the least. Now, we do have release footage of Brandy stating that the Honda Pilot has been cleared. There was even someone on Twitter who is known in the law enforcement community to have called and got confirmation it was cleared. Then they called her back and said, no, it's not. They were wrong. But again, this is what it sounds like to me. And this is speculation, 100. I feel that they know exactly who it is, but the person that they feel they know who it is can't remember. And the reason I say that is because researchers in this little Twitter weasel community found someone in the community, and I'm not going to say who it is or where they live, but in the community nearby that in fact has a Honda Pilot. And they are of the older age, let's just say that. So they might have some trouble remembering what the hell they did that day. I have trouble remembering what the hell I did 2 hours ago, let alone that far back. Now, I think October 8th, yes, October 8th, 2021 was when they released the 2 vehicles where they needed help identifying the 2 vehicles, the driver of them, and the 2 persons who had been around that area of the splash pad. One was a jogger, and the other one you see recently where Facebook, Fruitland PD posted on their Facebook page. So what I'm trying to get at is I don't really see a huge urgency to define the driver, like as if they are the ones that maybe have taken Michael. And you know what? Law enforcement did not say that. I'm saying that as speculation. This is for entertainment purposes only. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty by a court of law. And sometimes it might feel like you're guilty when you're innocent in the public eye. That is different. So, what I was going to go back to, because I know this is a really shitty quality version of this video that I'm going to have to edit. Maybe that's a little better. Nope. Anyway, again, the locations of the Honda Pilot, all right, from the CCTV footage they got. This first original one from October of 2021 was leaving by the splash pad out of the neighborhood towards Whitley. Okay. So they were going at 6:47. All right. This photo is coming from Whitley towards Southwest 8th. Right? I'll show you over here just to clarify. And I did do like I found the house, I found where they were, and I put the photo of the Honda Pilot in there, and it matches. You could see the fence right here and the little camper. Fence, camper. And you could even see the roof, like right here. I'm not making it up, folks. I know what I'm doing. So, having said that, here's that new CCTV footage of the Honda Pilot coming up south Whitley. Here's the one going out of Southwest 8. So that tells me at 6:47, if it was caught going out, the photo of the new one is either before Michael went missing or after, because it's not within that specific time frame, right, of Michael's disappearance. So do you see how the only real importance I think that they would need is to double check and make sure that they didn't see anything. And they probably already asked, but they might have not remembered whoever these people were that were driving, just simply couldn't tell you or verify what they drove. I don't know. That's my speculation. That's just what I'm sticking to it. But again, JD Huff said they were not suspects, just they were interested in clarifying and verifying the driver. And I think that they were really hoping that the public would know or have seen that driver. I'm sure someone has. I would hope so, because that needs to be cleared up. That definitely needs to be cleared up. I did, and I'm not going to put her name out here, but I'm just going to tell you that there are other Honda pilots around this area, especially near the school. I've seen Google Maps photos of this damn Honda Pilot. It doesn't seem fishy to me, except for only one. And I'm very worried about putting it out there because it has been sent in, so I'm not. However, it was sent in so long ago. Or excuse me, I didn't send it in. Someone else in the group did. But if they haven't taken it down yet and it's been so long, I highly doubt that it was of any interest, but I'm still not going to do it. But just, I promise you, it's been looked at. There's many of them. Brandy said it herself. There's been over 400 vehicles cleared. That's what she said. All right. Eve, you do an excellent job. You're very talented. Lori, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm going to catch up a chat real quick. I just don't understand why police are so hush-hush in the missing children's cases. In my opinion, being so hush-hush has made these cases harder to solve. To me, they should get information out to the public. I mean, there is a fine line. Like, doing this for quite a while, and being a member of EquiSearch, doing ground searches, like, I understand the importance of case integrity. There is a process and a policy that everyone needs to take and stick by, even if the public doesn't like it. But there were things that I feel weren't being heard or understood from law enforcement. And maybe they just were too overwhelmed, right? And I think, here's my thing. If the FBI have to step in and help, that's one thing. But if they need to kind of do a little diagnosis to see if they're able to handle it, you know, and if they need to take it over and then let local law enforcement assist as needed, like, not to be ugly, I do really trust JD Huff in a sense, and I know that there's a lot of red tape and bureaucracy. I get it. There's a lot of egos in law enforcement. There, at the same time, you gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them, right? Just saying. There's got to be some transparency in a sense of, look, we're trying, we're waiting. It's not that difficult to say, here's why we can't say things without messing up the case, and here's what we can. I mean, honestly, that guy from the splash pad could be, that could have been totally put out way before then. Like, that should have been put out in October. And I'm pretty sure everyone agrees. But then you have to think, why did it just come out? So I wanted to show you something that I thought was interesting. We're going to go to Twitter for a minute. And this is important to me about media and law enforcement. I wanted to show you something that concerned me greatly. Give me just a second. Let me pull up the video. Y'all, grab you a snack, grab you a blanket or a fan, because it's hot as hell in the South for sure. And give me 2 minutes while I set everything up. I will be right back. I got to get some coffee. I am dying over here. 1 second.
Welcome.
Thank you for subscribing. Dippy, that's awesome. Fuck off, itch. Yes. I love it. So I saw a comment. Sorry, electronic medium. I saw something. You were right. Edit was done on the 29th, which would have been 48 hours. I will correct my video. Oh, about Tyler's Facebook. Yeah. You know what? Don't feel bad, electronic, because I hear you. I was there confused as hell for months, not understanding. Hi, Miracle. No, I totally get it. And good on you for saying you're going to correct it. Like, I appreciate that, electronic, because a lot of people will just kind of let it go. And that's not fair to Michael or anybody, you know, that spreads and intentionally puts misinformation out there, not knowing that at the time. So I really appreciate that. I've had to do it too. So definitely. Okay. So here is the presser. I just wanted to go over something really fast.
Wanted to be here today. It was important for everybody to make it on this anniversary of Michael's.
So I want to.
So when I say everything's on the table.
Oh, I love that line.
Okay.
So these are the questions that are asked by local media. There has been a real big problem with local media covering more than just the basics, right? Or the interviews are the same thing over and over, you know? And we have to admit, we know damn well who has the key more than anybody, which is Tyler, about the timeline. Okay? We know this. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. That's the problem with Summer Wells, Cody Bigsby, Harmony Montgomery, Lena Kill. We know that.
We're standing firm with Michael's family and our continued law enforcement efforts. So with that, we'll stand for a few questions. Go ahead.
People are saying that the family hasn't been officially cleared yet, and we would like to know if that's true, and if they have been officially cleared, if you're just diverting your attention elsewhere. Can you give us a little bit more information on that?
You know,
Wow, let me reread that again. Hold the phone. So this is Miss Duggan, a local journalist.
So with that, we'll stand for a few questions. Go ahead.
People are saying that the family hasn't been officially cleared yet, and we would like to know if that's true and if it has.
So she said, if you can't hear, she asked, people have been saying that the family members have not been cleared, and we would like to know if that's true. And if so,
Been officially cleared, or if you're just diverting your attention.
if you're diverting your attention elsewhere.
You know, I would tell you that people like to deal in absolutes, and there's nothing about this case that is an absolute. So we will continue to investigate all aspects and all avenues in this case. And, you know, as I've said before, the family continues to be extremely cooperative and working with our investigation. And so, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of where we're at.
Look at his face.
You previously said back in November that there's a strong likelihood that he was abducted. Is there anything you could say that would
Golly, guys.
that led you to that conclusion?
Tristan, you know, due to the number of searches.
Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna replay that because watch JD's face, guys. I'm telling you, watch it. Watch it. When Tristan asked this question, which Tristan is on the local news talking about the case.
And so, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of where we're at.
You previously said back in November that there's a strong likelihood that he was abducted. Is there anything you could say that you could share with us that led you to that conclusion?
Okay, not only has Tristan asked this before, because I went and checked, but secondly, what do you need, again, for this, third press conference? What else do you need? Nothing is absolute. Everything's on the table. No stone left unturned. Do you know how many amazing questions could have been asked about stuff? Like, for instance, what's the timestamp and where's the location of the guy walking near the splash pad? Did he come from behind the splash pad? Do you have footage of him coming off of Southwest 8th first? Like, y'all, there could have been so many questions asked. Is the community safe? Have you found anything during your searches that potentially led to other things? I don't give a shit. You could have asked, do you have a goldfish that Brandy mentions? Do you know about this goldfish? Something other than this bullshit being asked. I'm going to get to why I think this is.
Tristan, you know, due to the number of searches with trained teams and the acreages searched, that is the reason why, without success, that is the reason why we, you know, there's a possibility or a higher probability of abduction. That's what led us to that. Again, you know, as we continue to work through this thing, there are still no absolutes. So when I say everything's on the table, it's still on the table. Okay.
Have you been looking into people that he may have been close with or known, or do you consider this a possible stranger abduction? Is there any avenue that you're focusing more on, a stranger or someone you knew? Can you tell us more about that?
You know, we're looking into that, but I think, like I said, you know, these leads and what we're doing, it's happening at the same time. So, yes, we're looking into friends and family close to the Vaughans, and we're looking outside as well.
Okay, so most of the questions basically are very targeted to how do we clear the parents? How do we make any little thing that we ask and his questions or his answers to make it seem like there is something else besides what they have said, which is a likely abduction. They didn't say which one. They didn't say stranger, you know, family, whatever. They didn't say that. Acquaintance abduction, a kidnapping. They just said it was highly likely because of the searches. The search efforts were unyielding. That's it. They're really reaching here. And I'm going to tell you why I think that is. So then he said just now, that, they are looking into people close to the family, around the family. He didn't say the family, like them. He's very vague about that. So let's replay that just to make sure.
So, yes, we're looking into friends and family close to the Vaughans, and we're looking outside as well.
Let me replay that. Watch Doug Hart's face and watch JD Huff's face after he finishes that. Just watch. I'm not saying he's implicating anything. I'm just saying watch.
At the same time. So, yes, we're looking into friends and family close to the Vaughans, and we're looking outside as well.
Has a,
I just want to say, like JD Huff, I feel like maybe I know him not on an acquaintance level. Like that's how much I've watched his face. And I've never met the man in person. I'm just saying, like his behavior, the things he does, and I'm no expert, but I don't have to be an expert to see what I see and have an opinion on it. And this tightness right here, he gets really frustrated with certain questions from local media, and you can tell. Yeah, that's tight. That's like, look at Doug. He's like, for fuck's sakes, no. That's how I feel too, Doug. I hear you, but that's how you felt. But all right, what's the next question? Let's see.
public interest in the case made it harder for you to investigate. Has it become convoluted with the theories that are flying around?
So the question was, has the conspiracy theories and the case been convoluted with theories flying around? And I can guarantee you that was directly related to the women, and probably including myself or anybody for that matter, who has put out things or has expressed their concern about the inconsistencies of the timeline. Of course, you're going to have these wild people come out of nowhere, or drama-filled people in the true crime community that just can't help themselves to be reckless, but not all of them, and not the majority. And I think people understand that and know that. So I wonder where she got that information from. If Michael Vaughan's case has been so damn difficult to get national coverage on, how did she know about all these wild conspiracy theories? Let's see.
Yes, it has. So, there's a number of theories. And as a matter of fact, we develop many theories throughout the week as well. And so once we develop those theories, plausible situations, then we vigorously get after that. And so I certainly don't want to discourage any information that's coming into the Fruitland Police Department, because the leads have been, we're over 1,000 leads now, and we have to have that. I mean, I believe that, in the midst of that, there's going to be that tidbit of information that breaks this case and helps us bring him home.
So did you hear what the man said? The man said, yeah, of course. There's things that always throw wrenches in investigations. I'm paraphrasing here, but basically, yeah. That's in every investigation. And you know what? That's also including the people around potential suspects or non-cleared people. Sometimes it makes it seem like when law enforcement says, stop the madness, YouTubers or social media, they're probably talking about a specific person or a specific group of people who are fighting information to get through. They never said who it was. That was and he didn't say hindering the investigation. He just said it makes it difficult. That's it. Well, if you're not good at your job, then wild conspiracy theories and the public throwing out stuff like that, if that bothers the case and you can't handle that, we need to get you some help, because that's just the way it is. I mean, seriously, I hate that. Like, I don't want cases to be muddled to death with false tips and false leads. But, reward money does that too. You're not going to talk about that. You're not going to hear those questions. He addresses them. He addresses the reward fund. Unlike Hawkins County, he wants to tiptoe around things. But anyway, this is what I'm trying to get at. These questions were hogwash.
Said, do you think that, since the last press conference we had was November, do you think that not being able to release as much information as the public would like, or as much as information that this case warrants, that's led to people coming up with these theories?
Yeah, I think it could be. But you also need to understand that we have an obligation, and in order to keep our case organized and strong when this thing is concluded, it's important that we hold that information close, at least at this point, right? There'll be a time for that, for public disclosure, and right now it just isn't. So that's the reason for my hesitancy to put out updates, because we are in the daily work of this investigation, and it's daily. So while it's certainly not a distraction, if I have significant information that needs to be passed, then I'll get it out there to you. But we're just working this thing on a daily basis.
Did you see how JD nailed that question with his answer? He was like, look, he's been balanced lately. Let's just say that. He's eating healthy and working out and living right kind of feel. Like he's on it. He's on his game now. Based from the, what was it, July 30th or July 31st and August pressers, October, November. I don't have my little handy dandy notebook here pulled up, and I will in a second. But anyway, he's nailing these questions. And they're really trying to persuade this man to start some bullshit with the community of web sleuthers. You can tell. I'm just going to call it for what it is. Web sleuths are not the problem here. They can be and have been in lots of cases, but they've also helped solve them. They've also helped law enforcement get to that tip that they need. How many times have you watched true crime? Either a podcast, I don't care what it is, and they said, we got a tip that led us down this road and then led us to X, Y, and Z. I'm sorry, but web sleuthing has literally been around forever. It's just not, it wasn't web sleuthing, it was real life sleuthing. All right? So they need to stop all that.
So,
is there anything you can say about persons of interest in this case? How many persons of interest?
I'm not going to really get into too deep on the persons of interest, but I will tell you there are multiple. Okay?
There have been multiple persons of interest. Did y'all hear that? Multiple. I mean, we couldn't even get a damn update on if they knew if it was a stranger abduction, okay? Or if it was foul play. We couldn't get anything. And now they're saying there are multiple persons of interest. Very interesting.
Interviewed or searched that have been non-cooperative?
Non-cooperative searches.
Yeah, there have been.
Yes, there have been. Let's do that again. I want to see what Doug Hart's face looks like when that happens.
Persons of interest, but I will tell you there are multiple. Okay?
Are there any people that you've interviewed or searched that have been non-cooperative?
Yeah, there have been.
Did you see his little, he has these little ticks when he's irritated? When you know something's irritating him? Look at his face one more time.
That have been non-cooperative?
Look at those eyes. Boom.
Yeah, there have been.
Touch of the face. Trying to get back to not being mad. Like, I'm telling you. Kiko says, oh, nervous scratch out. See, I do that too. I scratch my forehead when I'm irritated. or I'll put my palm on my forehead and like wipe, even if I'm not sweating because I'm irritated and I'm trying to get basically my brain to stop thinking about it, to stop being angry. So I do the same thing. I touch my face. At least, yeah, web sleuthing is effective in some cases, but if only the parents are aware of what happened to their child, they cannot be effective, right? Yeah, we're learning that. We're learning that, you know what, parents, getting close to parents and trying to get a timeline, we might not think that it seems like it's helping, right? But maybe it is. We got to wait and see who, what, when, where, when the case is solved and it goes to court. That's when you're going to know what worked and what didn't. And people need to start putting that out there after cases and saying, this is what I did. Like, this is, without being too, in depth. Hey, you know what? I remember sending that tip in. Hey, you know what? We were reprimanded for this, and this is where we went wrong. Because web sleuthing isn't going to go away. Unless they put a law down, in which they very well may, we need to learn from that. We really do. Because we're not perfect. Good God. We are taxpayers who pay a service to find the missing and to get justice. And if you're not doing that, we need a refund.
And then you add property searches or any like vehicle, property, both.
Without getting into too much detail, I would tell you properties, vehicles, electronic devices, everything you think we would be serving search warrants on, more than likely we've served search warrants on.
And then you mentioned there were multiple persons of interest. Are there any suspects at this point?
No.
No suspects.
Can you tell us a little bit about your daily efforts on this case? I mean, what does the day-to-day look like when you're investigating?
So our day-to-day efforts we start with a direction for that day, and it's intense. And so we're able to where I'll leave that. Progress, working through the data, and like we have been from the beginning, that's kind of where I'll leave that.
So basically, that little nod, I had to skip forward, but he was saying that there's a lot of data that they have to work through, and that has been the case since the beginning. And they have hours and hours of CCTV footage, basically, coming from, he specifically said, businesses and residences, both. So they're coming at multiple angles, which tells me that there might be potentially a lead that took them down a path of looking at businesses. And that could be a gas station. That could be anything really with a camera, any business. Maybe some businesses around Southwest 8th and Whitley, right? Because that's the closest to businesses. That's the closest road, the closest area. So.
Investigation, have you been able to tie this possibly to other missing children or abductions that are similar?
We haven't. Although I know there are some similarities, such as the Summer Wells case, but we just haven't been able to tie that to that case. So.
I always thought that was interesting, guys, that they were going to tie. So you know what? That tells me that they had communicated with Hawkins County potentially. I'm pretty sure. I have a feeling they did. Let's just say that. And I do think that it's very interesting that people around Brandy, maybe not immediately around, but digitally, right? People close during this case have said how strange it is that Brandy is like obsessed with Summer Wells. Now, look, I am too. A lot of people are. Right? But there has been speculation and rumor only. This is not something that you should broadcast as truth. It's just an opinion of others. That even before Michael went missing, Summer Wells was like, the Summer Wells case was a huge, let's just say, interest of Brandy's. And that's just speculation. That's rumor. And I don't want to have that spread around. I'm just saying that's what was said. And it is interesting to know. You know, that's just me.
All right. Well, if I don't have any more questions, I really, again, you guys, I appreciate you. You guys have been phenomenal. My local media outlets, I can't thank you enough. Les, you're awesome, so I appreciate you. And, we'll keep after it. My intent, just so you guys know, is once we get the word on our Homeward Bound program and when those trucks are going to be outfitted, that we'll set up another time that we can do an unveil of that as well. So, but again, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you.
That was one of the best conferences I've seen in a hot minute. All right, so here's where I'm getting at. I could go over the timeline discrepancies all day. We've done it. We've done it so many times. I have videos on it, and they are coming, I promise, guys. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. No one really, I don't think, has the bandwidth because of Summerwell's case to really capture it. So we need to break it down into finite, easy videos that are shorter, because I've made long ones. People don't have time. People don't have time to digest that because Summerwell's is and has taken full front with people. And so I think that that's important and something that I learned very recently. And I intend to do that. I intend to put little things out just like Evil Exists. I mean, I'm not trying to steal her idea of content, but I'm just saying, like, I think that that's wise because it's hard. These things are so hard to keep up with. So let me show you what pisses me off. And I think this is why the local news media hasn't been deeply involved in Michael's case and getting the information out there. Now, we all know who Miss LW, the media rep, whatever you want to call her, I don't give a shit. The person that deals with the media of the family, okay? She has been awful to people asking questions, doxed people. There's a woman by the initial CJ who is consistently doxing people and harassing people up until a certain point recently, which I'm not sure what happened there, but I'm good riddance, right? These people have been a nightmare for those who just want to ask questions. Okay? This should not be so difficult to try to work together to get media coverage for Michael, and it's been nothing but a shit show and fighting. And, I try to keep that to a minimum as best as I can, but I'm a hothead too sometimes, and when you cross the line, you cross the line, and it's almost like I can't help it. I am bipolar, and that's not an excuse, but I'm just saying. Sometimes you just can't hold back the bullshit any longer. It's been a year, right? So, Miss Alexandra Duggan, who was there at the press conference, I have a bone to pick with you, ma'am. Lana was on, and I'm just going to say her name, Lana, was on Purple Nights with Brandy on the day of the conference, stating that she had already known about it the day before, and that she was just letting people know about it, right? Cool, great, thank you. And so we're waiting for this conference, and then when we heard the questions that were out there that you just heard, asked to JD, have the parents been cleared? Is it a stranger abduction? Is there anyone around the family that you're looking into? Blah, blah, blah. You heard it. This KTVB investigative reporter who used to work for the Idaho Press, let me show you what happened here. let me go to the beginning. She was the one that was asking the questions. So she was updating everybody about what was going on. Huff, a majority of the efforts cannot be made public because it's a criminal investigation, right? Yeah. Said that from day one. Huff said they now believe Michael disappeared in a smaller window of time. Then she explains that she was going to be at the press conference. I don't think there was anything else here. She said, note, the public will not be allowed at the conference. Do you hear that? We are also unsure what the update is. It could very well be a piece of information or just that they are continuing the investigation. We have no idea. But the year mark of Michael's disappearance is in 5 days. Well, I'll tell you what it was. It was because there was some travel conflicts with Doug Hart, more than likely, and Idaho State Police people that wanted to be there, and they couldn't. So they decided on July 2nd to do it. That's all that was. Let me go back. Huff, many persons of interest in the case. Some have been non-cooperative. Huff, no suspects' parents are cooperative. So keep that in mind real quick, okay? Keep that in mind. She states, a lot of their investigation has been convoluted or muddled because people not involved with the case have been putting out extreme theories, contacting law enforcement and harassing people, etc. Is she stating that he said that? That's what it's coming off to me like, Miss Alex. A lot of their investigation has been convoluted or muddled because people not involved with the case have been putting out extreme theories. Okay, keep that in mind real quick. Then she says, no suspects. It could have been a stranger abduction. It could have been, but Ellie has looked into people close to Michael, and some of them are persons of interest. Everything is outstanding. Everything is a gray area, but they've still narrowed the case down substantially. There are people that have been non-cooperative. Listen to there. Here it is. Family is cooperating 100%, but not have been cleared. Are you listening? Because everything is so up in the air. They cannot rule out a ton. These words, rule out a ton, up in the air. Those things are called filler words. Because there really isn't an answer. Those are fillers. And I'm going to be honest with you. That pissed me right off. It really did. So let's continue. Because he did not say 100%. He just said extremely cooperative. I know that's nitpicky, guys. I'm not trying to be that way, but I'm just telling you that 100% is not accurate. That is your opinion at that point, Alex. This is awful. And I don't know where she got this information, but she wants to say that she had a private conversation with JD Huff. And I'll show you what I said. Okay, so here she addresses a lot of the investigation has been convoluted. She said, this was part of the press conference. And also Huff confirmed this with me after the presser when I got a hold of him in person. So he answered her question at the conference. And she followed him to City Hall to ask him some more. Oh, I see where your priorities lie. Then she says, I just got a call from Chief Huff and once again established to me that distractions make the investigation more difficult. They encourage contacting LE with valid tips, not speculation and theories. That is common sense, first of all. Distractions make the investigation more difficult. Well, you know who does that? You know who tries to distract law enforcement? Persons of interest and potential suspects do. I highly doubt web sleuths are either of those. Okay? Okay? So this is concerning to me. Very. So a news story with exclusive interview that Tristan and Alex are doing will be coming out Sunday. And I'm very nervous about that because I want to be open-minded and I'm going to try real hard to, but it's very hard when you're seeing these things. All right. So let me get to the tweet that I really wanted to get at. Hold on. Don't tell me she deleted it. Don't do it. One second. There it is. All right. I think this is very important for y'all to know. Okay, I'm just saying. So it starts off with some shit talk. I'm gonna be real. She said Huff told me personally about the investigation being convoluted. That was the thing. That's what started everything. And then this wonderful lady says, my point is that JD Huff could have said anything. This was his time to make mention of that, and he didn't. He didn't say that. She just wanted him to get on her side, basically. I want to make sure everything stays clear this time. I don't care about anyone else. And Alex says, he said this to me because, listen, I followed him back to City Hall for further clarification on the answer to the question. Why do you need further clarification? He clarified it perfectly. These are the same questions. The questions she asked were the same questions or the same statements that literally the PR rep makes, Miss LW. They're almost identical. So apparently he discusses with that some more. I want Michael home, so I wouldn't post anything as a journalist that would ruin the case. Well, you're speculating about people's speculation ruining the case. But it's journalism, so it's okay. So, this lovely woman is kind of digging in, right? And let me see what she said back. Sorry, tweets are crazy to me. So she's like, I absolutely believe you want Michael home. Talking about this lady. What I do not want is our community tied to these rumors of mudslinging. And that's exactly what I wanted to pinpoint. Everything people have tried to throw at us. Today was the day to handle that if that was such a problem. And that's okay to say. Like, that's okay to stick up for your kind, right? And listen to Alex. I don't know what community you're referring to and frankly don't care. My point is that I was told something and I'm reporting on it. If you feel like this was directed at you, then it is not my fault nor my problem. I am reporting accurate info. Have a great day. No, you muddled an already answered question and pushed for something else. You pushed for a different version, and that's bullshit. You didn't clarify. And I said, I've honestly never seen such outright hinted bias, then backed with snarkiness. So you followed JD Huff back to City Hall for a question you already asked and he answered? Instead of questions like, What is the timestamp of the man walking? Were there specific roads taken? Community safety? No, that didn't happen. That's not what happened. Bella said it perfectly. Didn't get the answer they were counting on the first time around, and publicly so. And I agree. I will have to agree with that. And then this JoJo. We know who you are, JoJo. You're not a secret. Cause for the missing too. So anyway, I mean, those are the things that I'm just like, excuse me? Because you did that out of spite when you don't even know any of them. What the bleep is going on? So what I was trying to do is not start drama or to show you that, you know, the web sleuths of our lives episode. What I was trying to get at is, do you see why Michael's case isn't getting any national attention? The reason why is because even the damn journalists are biased, in my opinion. Now, I'm not asking them to jump on the Twitter weasel gang. I'm just saying, open your ears. You're an investigative reporter and you didn't even investigate who you're talking about because you don't care. Are your ethics good? Is your professionalism on point? I didn't see that. I didn't see that at the conference, and I sure as hell don't see that on your Twitter page. So, this is my opinion, and I can say this. Y'all need to get that shit in check and quit listening to people who have no interest in doing the right thing for Michael. Because that's what's happening. You got Tim freaking Mullen on the Summer Wells case, basically doing the same damn thing that LW's doing. For what? We see you. You're not invisible. We know what you're doing. You're not going to get away with it. You're not going to get away with it. It will continue. Don't embarrass yourself anymore. Don't do that to yourself. This is not how it should be. This is not how this should be. Web sleuths need to be more professional too. Not just calling out the people that are, in my opinion, hindering his case. Not directly, but indirectly. I would rather have, in my opinion, if you had to choose between potential tips that were really good tips, where even JD have said that somewhere in that web sleuth, basically, not web sleuth, but somewhere in that information of tips that get sent, there might be that clue that leads him to finding Michael and bringing him home, is what he said. I'd rather have that as the reason for being not liked than trying to hinder that. Shame on y'all. I'm sorry. It pisses me off. We need to stop babying parents of missing children when they start lying. Tyler had his Miranda rights read to him in February. If you don't know what that means and you don't think that's a big deal, I don't know what to say to you anymore. Like, people, you need to get on board with this, not with what I believe. You need to listen. You need to start listening to what's going on. There is huge similarities. JD Huff said that there were similarities in Summerwell's and Michael Vaughan's case. but they just can't link the two. So they even thought about maybe it was linked. That's very telling. So if you have the energy for summer, best believe you better have energy for every single child that is covered. I just feel like Michael's case is going to be solved before Summer's is. I really do. I think that case is being built. And every little thing that comes in that might just either find a tip or enhance evidence already collected is just building that case stronger and stronger. That's what I feel. But y'all need to listen. If you can invest a whole ass year of your life to Summer, why not take what you learned from that whole year and apply it the right way to Michael and make it even better? Maybe there's something in Michael's case that you're not looking at and seeing and hearing that could potentially help find Summer. But y'all don't want to hear that. Well, I'm telling you, bring your energy, bring your A game and listen. I'm not saying to believe everything or to jump on this Twitter weasel gang that everybody seems to think that we think certain people are guilty. We simply do not know why the parents are not transparent and can keep their facts straight. And thank God for recordings to prove those things. Without those recordings going on, these poor women who were trying to fight and advocate for Michael and clear up the air to help law enforcement in any way they could, were getting slam dunked, doxxed, threatened like in a very bad way. Go watch my Randy Neal video. This is insane. I'm not going to sit here and make 16-minute videos of a timeline discrepancy that no one's going to fucking view because they're in their feels about Summer Wells' case, which skews Michael's and probably every other missing children. That's a disgrace. It's not fair. It's not okay. Get your head out of the sand, guys, and listen to what has been found. It's not fair. A whole ass year of hard work. So get ready. You're going to see a bunch of 30-minute to a minute and 30-second clips, just bang, bang, bang. But that's what y'all want. If that will help you guys listen, if that will help you guys hear the facts, not the facts of the case to lead to Michael's disappearance, but what has been said by the source closest to Michael. The sources closest to Michael. If you can literally destroy the entire family and friends of Summer Wells' parents, and look, hey, I'm not hating on you, but I'm just saying, if you have that energy, all we're asking is to listen. Just listen. You don't even have to react. You have a choice to sit there and observe and say nothing too. Actually, that would be preferable if you are very pro parents only and not Michael. Just parents.
Welcome.
I'm going to get off my high horse here. I apologize. I'm just really heated because I'm looking at all of these videos I have ready to go. 16 minutes, 18 minutes, 14 minutes. I've done case studies. I've done this. I've tried to help clear up these things. Timeline documents have been put together over and over and over and rearranged so many times that what's the point if no one's going to fucking listen because of cognitive bias? I'm begging y'all. I'm begging people who are watching to freaking listen. Just hear it out and don't shut it off and say, I'm going to support and disregard the facts. I'm going to support these people or this group and disregard the facts. That is not fair. And I'm sorry, Michael Vaughan. I'm sorry this is happening. Like, I really am sorry. And I hope people will straighten up and listen. Because it's not this side of the fishbowl. It's not this side of the fishbowl who's fucking it up. All right, guys, I love you very much. Have a wonderful Sunday. You know, as I say, drink your water. Hug yourself and your babies and your fur babies, your grandbabies, all of those babies. Justice for Michael and all missing children. And I will see you guys on the next live. Bye.